didn't want to learn to read and I didn't want to learn to do math because that was boring.
So I unschooled my daughter, and I in no form or fashion want to discredit this young lady's experience. However, I do want to state, you didn't have a problem with unschooling. You had a problem with lazy parents, parents who didn't get to know you, and also parents who didn't get to know their own limitations. So, as a world schooling, unschooling mom, I have a master's in international education. I got my master's. I was already teaching before I became a mom. And then when I had her, I went and got my master's in education. Now, I was planning to unschool, world school my child. I did lots of research and I had a plan of how I could do that to make sure that my child reaches all of her milestones. By the time my daughter was 1 year old, she could say her ABCs and she could count to 50. She also knew all of the planets. By the time she was 2, we started working on reading. Yes, at 2, she started working on reading. Is she fluent at reading at 2? No, but we started working on the sound, the phonetic alphabet, recognizing the letters, being able, I had pictures and things all around the house. We sang songs. I exposed her to English and the letters. By the time she was 3, she could read her favorite books. Now she's 4. She knows all of her sight words. We keep a list of the milestones that students are supposed to have based on education systems, and we organically learn these lessons through our unschooling. So this has nothing to do, I'm sorry, because I don't want to bash your parents in any way, with unschooling not working. This has to do with lazy parents who didn't take the time to learn you and learn their own limitations. Okay, there's things that I am not good at. I am not the best person at math. Can I teach the basics? Yes. Does she know her numbers? Like I said, she could count to 100 by the time she was 1. When she got tested for her learning levels when she was 2, she was above average in everything. However, I know that math is going to get more complex. Mommy. And knowing my limitations, I introduce her to ways that she can learn math. For example, she goes to a math club with other kids her age and she gets to practice math then with a person who is an expert at teaching math to young children. And it's not a sit down, let's just do math, but they are doing interactive games, things that I could never think of because I don't like or understand math at that level to make it fun and organic for children. There are people who do that. You let them do that. Not only that, what I can do is incorporate math in the way we live life. So if we're riding around in the car or on a motorbike, we start counting. How many red cars do you see? How many blue motorbikes do you see? We do those type of things. With reading, we read a book every night before we go to bed. We have sight words.
How about green and blue and then the going violet?
And we know our rainbow too. Boom. I'm just kidding. Let me continue. Our whole entire home is set up to be a learning space, an organic learning space. So you don't always have to sit there and say, stop and do this, but you can put things around the house for your child to always be learning. There's so many times a day when my daughter will see one of these posters and just stop and look at it. And then she'll start saying, what are the vegetables? Even here, when we're learning how to read, we can play games with this. If she comes up here and she's interested in this, we get out the flashcards and we start playing games and start telling stories with it. We have things around the house to keep her in an environment where she can organically learn, but we can also incorporate a little bit more structure. This is knowing what you're doing. Now, if you're a parent and you're listening to this video from me or from her and you're thinking, yes, see, unschooling won't work, I shouldn't try. I want you to understand that if you want to do something different anywhere in life, whether it be unschooling, world schooling, anything in life, you have got to be willing to look at the resources and the tools that is at your disposal in order to be able to do it in a successful way. Okay, so like I said, I have a master's in international education. I create custom organic curriculums that parents can use to teach their child when they're traveling the world or just unschooling, so that you have at least something that you know you're aiming towards, and you can figure out ways in your child's interest to incorporate math. So when she said some of her interests that she had, there were all opportunities within those interests to incorporate math and reading. There's a version of each subject in any interest your child has. And if you don't know how to figure that out, that's okay. No one's blaming you. Not everyone has an education mindset, just like not everyone has a math mind, right? Like I said, I create custom curriculums. If you need help, please go to my website, www.apthealchemist.com, where you can book a consultation or request a custom curriculum, as well as I coach mothers on how to unschool, world school their children, and to make sure that they have all of the tools and understanding on which way is the best for them. All right. Love you. Like, share, and follow for Reach. Thank you.